Well, I didn't get a chance to video the welding in progress. I had one of the tent advisors on and I was watching Sean weld, but I couldn't really get a good video shot and get in there close. Anyway, the finished product, I will try to get some light up in there. You can see it's welded, it's solid, it's a long-lasting fix, it's the proper fix. Why did I do it? If I didn't do it, eventually, right here where my fingers are, this lip would have cracked. I've seen, not a lot, but several Mopars where you could see either a little stress crack here or a little stress crack here, where that little brace cracked, just like mine did, and it goes unfixed. Now, Sean kind of mentioned that we might have a little heat problem on the paint. We thought it would be more towards the latch, and of course that looks pretty bad. What could I do? I didn't really have a lot of options. I wanted to get that fixed. So what am I going to do today? Well, I'm at least going to get the metal protected, average guys wise. POR 15 would be the right thing to put on that. This is an O'Reilly, an $8 bottle of O'Reilly's Permatex rust treatment. It's POR 15 wannabe. So what I will do today is we'll blue tape off all the areas first. And I've got some 50 or 60 grit sandpaper, sand all this black out of here, and we'll at least get the metal protected until I can find somebody to mix me some paint. This is LL1 Surf Turquoise, but I believe whoever did the paint mix added too much metallic to the paint, which makes it lighter. And if I order LL1, it's not as metallic, which turns out darker. So there is a auto finish supply shop here in Tucson. I'm going to have to drive BeepBeep over there and see if they can match me up a small bottle of touch-up paint. In the meantime, I'm going to live with it, but protect the metal. So we'll be back, do a wrap-up video. So I've sanded the area the best I can. It's kind of hard to get in there. I'm using a piece of sandpaper, maybe twice as big as a postage stamp. Don't want to take off too much good paint. Cleaned it up with acetone. I'm going to let it dry 20 minutes. And then with the rust converter, with these type treatments, you can't read the directions, but anyhow, you can't return any material that has contacted metal or rust back into the bottle. They say use a small disposable container, and in fact you throw your brush away when you're done. So I've got two different artist brushes from Ace. So the first coat goes on very, very thin. We'll put the first coat on very thin, then we wait 30 minutes, and then we put a little bit thicker coat on, and then we're done until I can find some touch-up paint. So I'll show you the finished product and wrap up. So, try to get a little light on here. You can see the area. I'm not saying it looks, I've improved the looks, but you can see that all of the exposed metal is now black. So what we've done is we've treated that metal. Rust-proof's not the right word. We've made it more rust resistant. So being an average guy, we focus on functionality first and how it looks last. A lot of people will paint directly over this, but it's really not a primer. It's a metal treatment. So the next step would be to get me some gray primer and prime that, and then do the touch-up paint. And like I said earlier, I'm going to have to try to match this color. I don't think I'll be able to buy a pre-mixed bottle. That'll be further down the road. Where I had Sean do the there we go, do the weld, I took the metal treatment and put 2 heavy coats on there, and of course you can see it turned everything black. So we're okay there. We're not going to paint that, we're not going to prime that. That looks good, and hopefully will last as long as I have BeepBeep. So to wrap things up, basically my take on the cars, this car, my ownership of old Mopars, is if I have to get down to the paint and body of a car, I'll probably end up selling it. My take on it is if I have to have a perfect paint and body, then I'll go out and buy a $40,000 or $50,000 car. And if I buy a $40,000 or $50,000 car, it's probably going to stay in the garage most of the time, and I'm going to be nervous every time I drive it. So I've had too many friends that have gone down that slippery slope of getting their cars into a body shop. Body shops make most of their money off collision work. So when you take an old car to a body shop and you say, I want paint and body work, and I'm paying you cash for that, well, it always gets put on the back burner because their bread and butter is the collision work. Collision work's always coming in, and then there's the term paint jail. Your car will stay in paint jail. I've had some friends, their cars have been in body shops 6 years just because they needed paint and a few patch panels. If you go to a restoration shop, they're going to focus on your car as a priority. But a restoration shop, they're going to want to check, they're going to want to deposit as soon as you walk into the door of $25,000. And I'm just not into the hobby for that. So if this car ever gets to the level that it needs paint or body, I would rather sell it and move up in scale. And like I said, coming full circle, that's not why I'm getting into the hobby. I'm getting into the hobby to have an old car that I can maintain, wrench on, improve a little bit, and drive to shows and enjoy. And that is why I'm on the Average Guy's blog. So we'll wrap this one up. Thanks for watching, and be sure to comment after you see the video.